We're back with another video, and in this video we're gonna show you how to implement this European payment gateway Nexi. This is their integration guide, this is their stuff, and this is what the checkout experience looks like. You get the cart and then you hit pay, and in this payment method, instead of redirecting to their hosted page, you're gonna embed their payment form within your own page, and it looks like this. There it is. So in here, you enter your card information, your delivery details, or you can pay with Apple Pay. You hit pay, you're gonna get 3DS within the form too, which is convenient. You don't have to redirect to another page. You hit approve payment, payment successful, and then you get redirected to your own result page where the result is displayed like this. And your order, which is this one, is updated in the database also as well. No redirections, everything stays within your website, which is nice. Let's go ahead and implement this, starting with a new project that doesn't have anything in it. So to implement this, the first thing you're gonna need to get your API keys, your public key and your secret key. To do that, you need to log into their portal. This is their portal. You wanna go to company integration, and you gonna see it here. This is the live one. I don't have a live account, and this is the test account. This is your secret key. This is your checkout public key. This goes in the client side. This goes in the server side. And you're gonna need to implement these APIs. This is the first API, which initiates the payment session. You send this and you get a response that looks like this. And then there's another API that gets you the payment status, which you're gonna use to display the payment result to our customer. And there will be a client side JavaScript library that we'll have to implement. So let's just get to it and show you how this is all implemented. Let's start with the first step, which is implementing this API. The same one in the previous video for the hosted checkout, except the only difference is that you don't have a return URL, and here you say embedded checkout instead of hosted payment page checkout. So first step would be to implement this. This is where I implement my server endpoints. First thing, I'm gonna generate a random order ID. For tracking, I'm gonna get the line items in the cart. You should get that in your server side, not the client side. This is what each item contains. You need to have a reference, name, quantity, unit, which is pieces, and unit price, which is the price for one item, and then gross total amount and net total amount, which is the price after you multiply the quantity by the unit price, plus tax, shipping, whatever. So you're gonna need those two, and now you can call your API. You're gonna do that like this. This is the API URL. I open a try-catch statement here, and inside the try-catch statement, I use Axios to send a post request to this endpoint. This is the same object that you saw here in Postman. Here I need to specify embedded checkout. Here I need to put the URL where this checkout page is going to be hosted, just the domain name. It's okay to put localhost just for testing. And terms URL is the link to your store's terms and conditions. You need to have one of those here, because in the checkout page is going to display by proceeding to pay, I agree to the terms and conditions, and then they can click on the terms and conditions to see what they are. Then you need to set charge to true so you can debit the customer. Without this flag, it's just going to reserve the amount in their account. It's not going to debit their card. So make sure to have charge set to true. And then this is the order object. You put the items, which I showed you earlier here, the currency, and then your own order ID, which is generated here. And now to authenticate the request, you need to include your authorization header. You're just gonna put the secret key as it is, like this. I know some APIs does this, where they do better than the secret key, but in Nexi API, it's just like this. And don't hard code your secret key like I'm doing here. This is just for the demo. You should use a secret manager, environment variable, something else. Once you generate that, you're gonna get a response that looks like this, payment ID. You wanna store that to your database. And this is how I'm doing that, like this. I use Firebase SDK. I create a new entry in my database. I make the status of the payment created with a date, the payment gateway payment ID, amount, and the currency. You can add additional items too if you want here. And then I send to my client side the payment ID and my own order ID, which I'm gonna need later to get the payment result. So I implement this, and now I can jump to the client side for implementation. Back to the client side right here. Okay, before you touch anything in the React.js project, first you need to import the JavaScript library. And to do that, you wanna go to public, index.html. Here is where you can import your JavaScript library if they're not an npm package like this. This is their JavaScript library for the front end. So just implement that here. Now you can go back and play around in React here in the cart page. So here in the client side, what you want to do is that you want to make it such that when the user click on the checkout button, then you display the form. You can't display the form as soon as the page loads, because that's gonna cause the form to be rendered multiple times. So you need to have something that the user clicks on, then that triggers the form to be rendered. So for example, here I have a pay button, and when the user clicks on pay button, I should render the form. So here in your cart page, you need two state variables. You need loading to set a loading indicator, and you need checkout click to check if the pay button has been clicked or not. And here in this method, which we are implementing, is where all the action happens. Initialize payment is what's gonna get called when the user click on this pay button, and is gonna be what renders the form. So here, when this is clicked, you wanna set loading to true, and you wanna set checkout clicked also to true. And now you want to call your server to get the payment ID and then render the form. So first, let's start by calling our server to get the payment ID and the order ID. Open a try catch, call your API, get the order ID and the payment ID from the response. Now initialize the checkout library. This step is described in this guide here. You want to go, where is it? Here. This is how they are showing you to do it, but I'm gonna put it together in a much neater way, like this. So if you imported a JavaScript library by putting its link in an index.html in public like this, if you want to call it in React.js, you need to do window dot the name of the library. And here inside the library, there's a method called checkout. Here you want to put in checkout key, you want to put your public key, the one that you got from the portal, and the payment ID, which you get from your server, and then the container ID, which tells this library where it should put the payment form. So we need to put this somewhere. So let's scroll down over here. Right now what this thing does is that if it's loading, it shows the loading indicator. If not, it'll show the pay button. But instead, we're gonna reorganize it to look like this. If it's loading, it's gonna show the loading indicator. And if the checkout button has not already been clicked, then we're gonna show the checkout button. So once you click this will disappear permanently. And under it, right here, we will mount the payment form. Make sure the width of this div to 100%. Okay, so now we can actually display the form. We also need to set a callback that's going to handle when the payment is done, like this. So this says when the payment is done, do some action here inside this function. And here what I'm doing is that I'm redirecting to my result page, and I'm appending my order ID to it, like this. So after the payment is done, it's gonna redirect to this URL. And you have to use the backticks like this for this to work. You can't do some URL plus some variable. This will not work. It has to be formatted like this with the backticks and with the variable inside the string. I know because I made that mistake. Okay, once you've done all that, you can set loading to false, and you can test this out to see if it works. Let's go ahead, click on checkout, loading, and now the form is displayed. Perfect. Now let's try to pay and see what happens. Hit pay, you get 3DS within your page, which is nice. Hit approve payment, and then it says payment successful, and then you can get directed to your result page. But right now it's not displaying the result properly, and it's not checking if the payment is successful or not. So if we check this payment in our database, where is it? Here, it's gonna still say that it's created. It should say successful or failed. So now we need to work on the second step, which is the get payment status API. That's this API right here. Let me show you what it does. This API at the end of the URL here takes in the payment ID. So let's use the payment ID that we got in our database here. This is why you need to store this stuff just in case. Send it, and then you get the response here. Here's gonna tell you how much was charged. And if it's the same amount of the order, it means this payment was successful. And you get a list of the line items and everything. Okay, so let's go ahead and implement this in the server now. Back to the server code. Gonna implement this endpoint right here. Okay, first thing, the way I'm gonna make this work is that this will be my endpoint, and I'm gonna put the order ID on the end of the URL like this. I'm gonna use that to query the payment ID and then check the payment status. So here you wanna use this line to get the order ID at the end of the URL like this. And then you use that order ID to query the payment ID and the amount. And now you can get the result. You open a try catch and you call the payment result API. And now you need to check the payment status. You check if the charged amount, which is this amount is equal to the amount of the order that is stored in our database, then you said the order is successful, and then you return it successful. If not, then you turn failed and failed. Okay, now we can use this in our result page. Okay, here in the result page, you want to get the order ID that is at the end of the URL here, and then make a call from your client side to your server side. And you can do that simply like this. This is how you get the order ID from the URL. You query for the parameter reference, and then I put it here at the end of the API call. Then I get the result, and then I set that as a state variable result, and then that's going to get displayed here. It's going to say your order reference, which the value is in the URL, is result, which is returned from the server. So let's refresh and see if this works. Save, get loading indicator. And now it says your order is successful. And if you check our database, the order status has been updated to successful. Now let's do a complete test now to check if this thing works. Here you go. A new order was just created here. It says created. And then you want to get your test cards from here. Hit pay, approve payment. Payment is successful. Loading, payment is successful. Database result has been updated successful. That's it. This is how you can implement Nexi's embedded integration payment method. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you like this video and you want to get more videos like this, like and subscribe. If you want to support the channel and get the source code that we used in this video, check the Patreon link in the description box below. That's it for today. See you next time.